Tuslaw High School, with 750 students, is located 5 miles west of Massillon. Tuslaw offers courses for both the college-bound students and the job-oriented students. And there are such special courses as home economics for boys and industrial arts for girls. About 120 juniors and seniors are in vocational programs at the large educational center, which serves 5 Stark County school districts. Located in northeastern Summit County, Nordonia High School has 1,700 students and 90 faculty members. Nordonia offers challenging academic courses and extensive vocational education programs. Besides traditional courses, Nordonia has extensive extracurricular activities from dramatics to sports. Attractive physical surroundings promote maximum student involvement in a continuing dynamic learning process. Lincoln West High School opened on Cleveland's near west side in 1970, resulting from the merger of 2 of the city's oldest high schools, Lincoln and West. There are now 1,800 students in grades 10 through 12. Lincoln West students represent many diverse ethnic and racial backgrounds. So the Students' Congress each year sponsors a Pride Week exposition, where various ethnic cultures, costumes, and foods are exhibited to the entire school.
While we're recapping team scores on your screen, here are the rules for this individual team round. You'll get double the points, 20 big ones for every correct answer. But remember, penalties are also doubled for missed or passed questions. With 90 seconds to answer 10 questions correctly, teams have a chance to pick up 50 bonus points.
Thank you, Paul. Alrighty, everybody, let's get at it now. And John, another selection.
Number 4, please.
All right, 4 it is. Remember now, we have past questions, and away we go. Perhaps the Chinese were the first to use houseboats extensively, but what biblical character had a floating home that doubled as a zoo?
Noah.
Right. Had Jim Bowie fought a duel, he might have chosen what weapon that was his
Knife.
invention? Right. Should Puerto Rico become our 51st state, we'd add 1 more star to our flag, and how many more legislators to our Senate?
2.
Right. Now, listen to this music. This is Carl Maria von Weber's Invitation to the Dance, one of the first orchestral works to use what sort of Viennese dance in 3/4 time?
Waltz.
Attacking Greek soldiers did not have to trudge into Troy, as they were carried there inside what hollow wooden horse? Right? It takes a column of only about 30 inches of what liquid element to balance the weight of the entire column of atmosphere? Oxygen, water, or mercury?
Mercury.
Right. The Empire State Building is in New York, but what British Empire builder gave his name to an Oxford, England scholarship that a New York student might covet?
Pass.
Okay. If a 15-foot ladder leans against a building and its base is 12 feet from the foot of the building, how high up the wall does the ladder reach?
Pass.
All right. Now that medallions and beads are acceptable masculine accessories, men may be more interested in reading what short story by Guy de Maupassant, whose title names a similar article of adornment?
Pass.
Okay. Legal tender was the legal name given his daughter by what Ohio businessman who led an army of the unemployed to Washington in 1894?
Pass.
All right, we have 4 past questions here. Nordonia.
9 feet.
Let me check our questions. 9 feet for the math question. That's right. Okay, 3 more to go. Nordonia again.
The necklace.
The necklace is right for the novel. Okay, 2 to go. No takers. All right, Jacob Coxey for Coxey's Army, and Cecil Rhodes. That's the Rhodes Scholarship. And there we have the end of the round for Tuslaw. 220 points now. Okay, let's have another pick now, and we're all set to go with Yolando again.
Number 7, please.
7, all right. Questions over to Nordonia. If a gourmet traveled from Seward's Icebox to the Sandwich Islands, he'd eat his way from Alaska to what state famous for its poi?
Hawaii.
Right. When a senator dies, the responsibility for replacing him falls to what highest state official?
Governor.
BLT are the initials of a popular sandwich, but they also stand for Battalion Landing Team, a unit of what U.S. armed force whose motto is Semper Fidelis?
Marines.
Right. Listen to this.
Drink to me.
This is Drink to Me Only with Thine Eyes, a setting of a poem by what Elizabethan writer whose followers were called the Sons of Ben?
Pass.
All right. Living mementos from an island-hopping tour might include a pony from the Shetland Islands or a songbird from what group of Atlantic islands off Africa's northwest coast?
Pass.
All right. The Kentucky Territory's first industry was established by Anne McGinty, a woman who excelled at what household craft practiced in ancient myth by Arachne?
Weaving.
Or spinning. The part of the blood that carries most of the oxygen is red blood cells, white blood cells, or plasma?
Red blood cells.
Right. Express the square root of 80 as a multiple of the square root of 5.
4 times square root of 5.
All right. Though the heroine of the play is named Nora, what Ibsen title sounds as if the resident heroine should really be Barbie?
Doll.
All right, I'll take that, a doll's house. Name Lincoln's predecessor in the White House who, when faced with the Dred Scott decision, John... Okay, would you like to answer?
Johnson.
No, James Buchanan. Okay, we do have a couple past questions now. Tuslaw.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson is right. And Tuslaw again.
Canary Islands.
The Canary Islands is right, so you picked up 2 extra questions there. Good. And we come back to team number 1. Diane to pick for Lincoln West.
Number 5, please.
Okay, Lincoln West, chance for you to pile up some points here. Thomas Wolfe was a writer, but George Fox was a religious leader of the 1600s who founded what society frequently referred to as Quakers?
Pass.
Okay. In her temperance efforts, Carrie Nation carried a Bible and what dangerous implement that young George Washington allegedly carried out to his orchard?
X.
Yep, or a hatchet. Bacon's rebellion took place in Virginia, but what other rebellion, beginning with the letter B, sizzled in China from 1898 to 1900? Right. Listen to this music. This march is Symphonia by Merle Evans, and if it sounds like circus music, that's because Mr. Evans was for 50 years the bandmaster of what famous circus begun by a band of brothers?
Ringling Brothers.
That's it. Had Stephen Foster visited India and its gurus, he might have written Swami River about what holy waterway that flows through Benares.
Pass.
All right. In our morning orange juice, we drink vitamin C, which is also known as ascorbic, citric, or amino acid.
Ascorbic.
The name Navigator's Islands, formerly applied to Samoa, suggests the group was so named to honor what 15th century Portuguese prince known as the Navigator?
Magellan.
No, Prince Henry the Navigator. 1 of 3 dozen people at a party. Out of 3 dozen people at a party, half were married. Is half of the others, if half of the others were men, how many single men were there? 1 out of 3 dozen people at a party.
9.
Half were married. The answer is 9. Right. It was a sad day in Tilbury Town when which of Edwin Arlington Robinson's... All right, there's the end of the round. Good round for Lincoln West. 90 points now. Oh, 1 past question. I beg your pardon. Tuslaw.
Society of Friends.
The Society of Friends, right, and also another pass. All right. Would you like to take a crack at the second pass, Nordonia or Tuslaw? Okay, the Ganges River is what we were looking for. So there we have the round complete. Just about forgot the passes. I apologize. Okay, right on to the grab bag after a word from the Illuminating Company and Ohio Edison.
On an electric system, trouble can come suddenly, like lightning. At this system's operations center, alert dispatchers can spot trouble quickly, then direct operations to avoid problems or minimize the difficulty. At sophisticated centers like this, generating plants and bulk power transmission lines are monitored constantly.
What's the loading on Q1S?
Modern communications equipment provides up-to-date information every second of every minute. This enables dispatchers to do a vital job, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The center is also an important factor in keeping the cost of electricity as low as possible. Computers are used to select the most efficient combination of generating equipment to meet the ever-changing demand. This saves millions of dollars a year for our customers.
If you take your electric service for granted, it's because we never do.
This is the grab bag. For every correct answer, we will add 20 points. Mr. Failed to answer, we take away 20 points. And going into the grab bag, this is how we stand now. Lincoln West has 90 points. Nordonia, 190, and Tuslaw in the lead with 280. So let's put some more points on the scoreboard now and hit the buttons. Give me the answers for 20 points apiece. Here we go. On Christmas cards, doves often carry an olive branch, but on the United States seal, it is what larger bird that does the honors?
Eagle.
Tuslaw, right. 8 chemical elements have names beginning with the letter S, but the only element with S for a symbol is what non-metal? Nordonia.
Sulfur.
That's it. In the title of a classic film, W.C. Fields advised that we never give a sucker what kind of fair chance that sounds like a clean fracture. Nordonia.
An even break.
Even when brand new, what type of Chinese sailboat is a name suggesting that it's worthless or, Tuslaw?
Junk.
Junk. Pastoral poems were popular in the 19th century romantic poets, but one of the most famous is the 23rd Psalm, supposedly written by what musical king of Israel? Tuslaw.
David.
Is that A housewife may sweep her floor with a broom, but in what major winter sport of Scotland is a broom used for sweeping the ice?
Curling.
That's it. When Lewis Carroll's walrus ate a seafood supper, it met the pearly gates for the hard-shelled souls of what pearl-producing creatures upon whom he had sucked? Nordonia.
Oyster.
In France, July 14th is Bastille Day, but in America, June 14th is what day named to honor the Stars and Stripes? Tesla.
Flag Day.
Yes. When changing water from a liquid to a gas, what are the smallest particles into which the water is separated? Atoms, molecules, or photons? Nordonia.
Molecules.
Right. What is the arithmetic mean between 9 and 57? Nordonia.
33.
Right. Had silicone been a gas, I would have been a major general, said what painter who failed chemistry and flunked out of West Point before immortalizing his mother on canvas? Tesla.
Whistler.
Right. Longfellow said Paul Revere's signal was to be 1 if by land and 2 if by sea. I thought I heard a bell. How many lamps eventually did burn that night in the Old North Church? Tesla?
2.
2 is right. The peanuts featured in Jimmy Carter's 1976 campaign might go well with what fermented apple drink featured in the 1840 Tesla?
Cider.
4 pi radians is the equivalent to how many degrees? Nordonia.
720.
That's it. Often called Briar Rose, Sleeping Beauty also had what other first name that means dawn and precedes Borealis in naming the northern lights? Tesla.
Aurora.
In a New York City restaurant offering a choice of clam chowders, a native would be most likely to choose what kind? Nordonia.
Manhattan.
Right. An athlete might enjoy Porky Pig, but he would suffer what type of horse? A name given to a stiff and painful muscle.
Charlie.
What was that?
Charlie.
The head of Britain's Conservative Party has what same last name as Tom Sawyer's girlfriend, Becky? Tesla.
Thatcher.
Right at the buzzer, that's it, and that is our final buzzer. And here now are our final scores. First of all, Lincoln West, 90 points. Nordonia, 350. And tonight's winner with 480 points from Massillon, Tesla High School. Tune in again next week when Academic Challenge will feature top students from St. Peter's of Mansfield, University School of Hunting Valley, and Maple Heights High School. This is Don Webster reminding you that knowledge is a treasure, but practice is the key to it.
Academic Challenge has been brought to you by Ohio Edison and by the Illuminating Company. Book prizes for Academic Challenge are provided by the Bookseller Paperback Exchange in Elyria, American Heritage Publishing Company, and by William Collins, publisher of Webster's New World Dictionary, for promotional consideration.
It's Furnitureland spring clearance sale. Everything's on sale. Bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms. Hundreds of odds and ends. Save up to 50% and more at Furnitureland now through Monday.